Revenge Films.
My name is Toru. I'm a high school senior and captain of the soccer team. I've been on the soccer team since elementary school, and I absolutely loved soccer, practicing every single day without fail. As a result, I was selected for the prefectural team in middle school and entered a high school famous for its strong soccer program. My coach was a very strict person, but a certain event made me place deep trust in him. That event was when my mother passed away just after I became a senior. Mom had been sick and was told she didn't have much time left, but whenever I had a game day, she'd push herself to come watch. My coach had watched me desperately trying to win for Mom's sake, so when she passed away right before my final high school match, he gave me his full support while I struggled with my grief. After overcoming Mom's death just before my important final match of high school, an incident occurred that would shake my entire soccer career. When I arrived at school as usual, my homeroom teacher immediately took me to the student guidance office as soon as he saw my face. Having no idea what this was about, I asked him as soon as I entered the guidance office. "Sensei, what's going on? Did something happen?"
"I'm disappointed in you."
"What?
I can't believe you would shoplift."
"Shoplift? What are you talking about?" According to my teacher, there was a tip that the delinquent group in class had been shoplifting, and when they were called in and questioned, they all gave my name. They claimed that I, normally a good student, was afraid of getting caught for shoplifting, so I framed the delinquent group. Of course, I'd never shoplifted in my life, so I insisted on my innocence. However, it wasn't just the delinquents testifying against me. Even the class president had come forward with eyewitness testimony, so my claims weren't easily believed. I had no idea why this was happening, but as a result, I was framed by my classmates and falsely accused of shoplifting. Until my innocence was proven, I was suspended from club activities, and if things continued this way, I could face expulsion. I'd never gotten into trouble and had always lived an honest life, so not being believed by my teacher was deeply shocking. The moment I saw my father, who had been called to the school, I thought he would believe me and take my side, and I rushed to him desperately. But after hearing the story from my teacher, my father said something I never expected.
"I can't believe you'd become the kind of person who shoplifts. Don't tell me you've been acting out ever since your mother died."
"Dad, no! I did not shoplift!"
"You're not the only one hurting over your mother's death. I want to act out too."
"I'm not acting out! I've been perfectly rational this whole time!"
"Your mother told you to apologize immediately when you do something wrong. Why won't you apologize?
Why won't you believe me?"
"I should never have taken you in."
"What?" I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My father had clearly said, "I should never have taken you in."
"No, that's not what I misspoke just now."
"You don't just say something like that by mistake. Explain what you meant." When I pressed him in shock, my father answered hesitantly and incoherently. The truth was, when I was just a baby, I was abandoned by my birth mother and taken in by this couple who couldn't have children. I was learning this for the first time. At that moment, I knew I couldn't live with my father anymore. Of course, I was shocked and couldn't accept that we weren't blood relatives, but what hurt most was realizing there had been no trust between us. That day, I went straight to my room when I got home and started packing. I tried to organize my thoughts to accept reality, but I couldn't seem to accept it anytime soon. I absolutely didn't want to see my father in this state, so when he left the school and went back to work for a bit, I left the house. I headed to my soccer coach's house. My coach seemed surprised to see me show up suddenly with a large bag, but he let me in without saying anything. When I explained the situation, my coach fell silent for a while. Do you believe me, Sensei? I really didn't shoplift, I swear! Of course I do. There's no way you'd shoplift. I know that, so don't worry. Hearing those words, I broke down crying. Can I never return to the team? Can I not go to college? Calm down, Toru. I will absolutely prove your innocence. Sensei! Anyway, let's go to the store where you supposedly shoplifted tomorrow. I'll take the day off from school, too. Thank you, Sensei. The next day, we went to the store where I allegedly shoplifted, and my coach and I asked about eyewitness accounts and other information. According to the store staff, the stolen item was a pair of sneakers worth $300, and they still hadn't been recovered since the theft. We also confirmed that the delinquent group had indeed frequented that store. However, the store had no security cameras, so there was no evidence left behind. If only we had security camera footage, it would be decisive evidence. Oh, that's right. The store next door has a security camera out front. Maybe it caught something. Hearing that, my coach and I rushed to the neighboring store and negotiated to see the footage from the day of the incident. When we explained the situation, the store staff kindly showed us the security camera footage. And there it was, the delinquent group fleeing with the stolen merchandise clearly captured on camera. We got a copy of the footage and headed to the school. When my coach showed the footage to my homeroom teacher, the teacher immediately called in the delinquent group and the class president. What? Are you seriously suspecting us now? Oh, look, it's Toru! Didn't you get suspended for shoplifting? More like expelled, which is what's gonna happen to you guys! Huh? The shoplifters got some nerve talking! Look at this footage! What? Where'd you find that? You can't talk your way out of this now! According to the class president, the delinquent group claimed they saw me shoplifting and asked her to testify to that as well, threatening to abduct her if she didn't comply. The class president bowed deeply to me repeatedly, apologizing. Then the delinquent group flew into a rage and became uncontrollable, so my coach called the police. When the police arrived, we submitted the security camera footage, and the entire delinquent group was taken in for questioning. Just as I was relieved that my innocence had been proven, my father appeared at the school. The moment he saw me, he rushed over, looking exhausted, and held my hands with both of his. Last night, your father called saying you had disappeared. So I contacted him to report that you were safe. Toru, I'm sorry for doubting you. Where on earth were you? Your father spent all last night searching everywhere for you. I'm truly sorry for saying those things. I've been regretting not believing in you ever since yesterday. When I really thought about it, I should have known there was no way you'd shoplift, but I failed to believe in you. As your father, I did something absolutely unforgivable. I should never have taken you in. After raising me like your own child all this time, how could you say something like that? Are you saying we can't have trust without blood ties? Then how do you explain all the trust I've had in you and Mom all these years?
Toru, I'm sorry. Your mother was the love of my life. Maybe losing someone so precious left me unable to think straight. But when you disappeared yesterday, I realized something. You're just as precious to me as your mother was.
Dad!
I said terrible things to you. I'm truly sorry. Please forgive me.
Even adults make mistakes sometimes. You understand that, right, Toru?
Yes.
With my coach's encouragement, I accepted my father's apology and decided to go home. After that, my father properly faced Mom's death, crying over and over again in front of the family altar. And finally, he accepted her death and decided to move forward with his life. As for the delinquent group who framed me, since they had prior records, the actual shoplifters were arrested by police and sent to juvenile detention. They were expelled from school, of course, and with their ringleader gone, the other troublemakers in class settled down completely. Upon graduating from high school, with my coach's encouragement, I decided to pursue a career as a professional soccer player. My father said he would cheer me on along with my late mother and started coming to every game I played. Even after learning we weren't blood relatives, my feeling that my adoptive parents were my true parents never changed. I still keep in touch with my coach after graduation, and we're both looking forward to having drinks together once I turn 20.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.